Hi. Um, well, as a lot of people know, when I am watching videos and whatnot, I'm taking a break from my oh so busy schedule of gaming. But a little while ago, Wildwood's Claire, she did, of course, one of her Dimbulbs of the week, and chose a user by the name of HeyRuka, who I figured, because of your response video and stuff, that I would try to point out a few things to you and stuff. Now, initially, that was just coming up with the fact that, there's several things that in your follow-up video that basically, if you want to wonder why people are sitting there and poking fun at you and basically running you over the coals, it's because, frankly, you're acting very, very childish with just simple little things like, well, fuck you guys, and the little hearts on the screen indicating, oh, I'm so happy that you supported me. That's this is all childish junior high school behavior. And you're also having trouble understanding the fact that with the atheist community, and mind you, I'm not an atheist, all right? I'm an agnostic, but I see it time and time again. With the atheist community, they police their own. Now, with you as an atheist, at least I'm assuming that you think you're an atheist, the way you speak about creationism, things like that. I'm assuming that you're an atheist. And atheists will, without a doubt, if one of their own says something, they will pounce on them. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. That makes you no different than anybody else. So, any type of problems that you seem to be having about this or whatnot, first off, this is the norm, okay? That's what's going to happen to you when you say something that is perceived as ignorant. So, now, from what I understand, you're going to school and whatnot. Granted, there's no real proof behind that other than you said you're going to school. So unless you can like pop up a class schedule or the enrollment papers to prove that you're going to a school, there's a lot of us that will actually question if you're even going to school at all when you make ignorant statements like you did in your "Oh Religion" video and stuff. But that's not actually what I'm here to address. What I'm here to address is this little clip.
Oh, in this book, read it and make love to it.
The bell curve. Okay. All right. Now, I could probably go on and on and on about the bell curve because, let's face it, the bell curve itself, that book is such a thinly veiled book about racism that, I mean, it's not even funny. I mean, if you're wondering why people are sitting there calling you racist and whatnot, your faith in the bell curve is probably the biggest one right there. And so, if that's what's influencing some of your views and decisions, belly dancers have thicker veils than the bell curve does. All right. Okay, let me read you a few things. Now, this is from the Wikipedia page. I'll have the link in the crotch bar for you so you can read over it yourself. And this is just a few things from it. There's a guy named William J. Matthews. Now, here's what he wrote, and I'm just reading this from the page. Okay. William J. Matthews writes that a part of the bell curve analysis is based on the AFQT, which is not an IQ test, but designed to predict performance in certain criterion variables. Now, he has a colleague named James Heckman, who is a Nobel Prize-winning economist. Now, Heckman observed that the AFQT was designed only to predict success in military training schools and is that most of these tests appear to be achievement tests rather than ability tests, measuring factual knowledge and not pure ability. He continues, and this is a quote from him, okay? Ironically, the authors delete from their composite AFQT score a timed test of numerical operations because it is not highly correlated with other tests. Yet it is well known that the data they use, this subtest is the single best predictor of earnings of all the AFQT test components. The fact that Many of the subtests were only weakly correlated with each other, and that the best predictor of earnings is only weakly correlated with their G-loaded score, only heightens doubts that a single ability model is the satisfactory description of human intelligence. It also drives home the point that G-loading, so strongly emphasized by Mary and Herstein, measures only agreement among tests, not predictive power for social economic outcomes. By the same token, one could also argue that the authors have biased their empirical analysis against the conclusions they obtained by disregarding the tests with the greatest predictive power. There were two other people, Janet Curry and Duncan Thomas. They presented evidence suggesting that the AQF scores are likely better markers for family background than intelligence in the 1999 study. Herstein and Mirror reported that the conditions on the material intelligence, in parentheses AFQT scores, child tests are little affected by various variations in socioeconomic status. Using the same data, we demonstrate their findings is very fragile. Okay, now, going up a little bit. Remember that name, William J. Matthews? I mentioned it earlier. There's also another guy, Stephen J. Gould. This was back in 1994. They listed 4 basic assumptions of the bell curve. Okay? A anthropologist by the name of C. Loren Brace, in a review, he listed 6. His basically is the same thing as what Matthews and Goulds came up with, but he kind of expanded on it because he included 6. They only did 4. The 6 he included, but they all basically agree. 1. Human cognitive ability is a single general entity depictable as a single number. 2. Cognitive ability is heritable between 40 and 80% and is therefore primarily genetically based. 3. IQ is essentially immutable, fixed over the course of a lifespan. 4. IQ tests measure how smart or intelligent people are and are capable of rank ordering people in linear order. 5. IQ tests can measure this accurately. 6. IQ tests are not biased with regard to race, ethnic group, or socioeconomic status. Now, mind you, these things that are being talked about, I mean, this came back out within the first 3-4 years of the bell curve coming out. They basically showcase how the authors who wrote the bell curve were incredibly biased, not do any reals. I mean, it may look like scientific work, but it's not. Like I said, it's very, very thinly veiled racism. And on top of that, the biggest thing that hurts us the most, someone cited as part of the criticisms, and they didn't put it up for peer review. So that way their colleagues could take a look at it and go, well, hey, we see a problem here. Any good scientist will tell you that if they have a theory that they want to turn into a hypothesis and want it tested, they put it up to their peers. And their peers will take a look at it, so that way they're getting a more objective view. And therefore, if something shows up in the peer review, they can go back and try to fix it. These guys never did that. So, and the fact that you so strongly endorse this, I mean, it is ridiculous how much you endorse this, because if you can make, like in your little clip says, it's like, read it, make love to it. I mean, the way you let the pages stroke your cheek, I mean, funny as that is, it does say a lot, and also should answer your questions about why people are not taking you seriously and that you ended up winning your Dimbulb. I mean, what really more is there to say? I mean, you're a racist, pure and simple. You're just trying to hide it because of the fact that you can't really take the criticism. Now, I hope that what does come out of this is the fact that you actually take a look. Because, like I said, I'm going to put the link into the crotch bar for you so you can read over this and actually think about it. And I hope something good comes out of this. And, from what I understand, like I said, you said that you're going to school. I do want some proof of that. If that is the case, if you are going to school, that means that you're willing to learn. And hopefully you will realize that you might be wrong. So, anyway, this is Cuthla. Thanks for your time, and I will see you guys later.